starting off with game number one, and we're for the first time, I believe, Frank is being taken to sparring ring.
Yeah, and doing so with Springman as well. I was starting to think that we would pass from him, but he has decided to go back into that one. And I mean, Frank is kind of like the. I'd like to see him as like the Resolve of EU, like basically like like if Resolve is in an NA, Frank is in EU, basically just dominating as a Springman in a lot of different tournaments.
Right, and staying really close to Springman's defaults too, just using the roaster for, I mean, better
Yeah.
tracking. instead
Yeah,
of the
exactly. Just
toaster.
like better options there, where the tracking of the roaster is, more free flowing than the homing of the toaster.
Which is something Resolve does too, switching to roaster. He actually
Yeah.
sometimes plays roaster and toaster, one for tracking the opponent and one for punch parrying.
Yeah, and now we see actually Iceman has been doing really well here in the initial phase. Frank now in the comeback mode, and Iceman looking to end it with the rush, but is not able to. Frank still has this available, but I think he wants to get at least one more punch before he uses the rush. Otherwise, he can finish. Now he's looking to get that rush in here. He's going to...
Goes for it,
Oh!
but it misses. Iceman does not get the punish though, so it's still open for Frank to take it.
Yeah,
Gets
and that kind of shows...
roaster hit in.
This is going to be a very tight one. Okay, both players now almost on Magic Pixel, but Frank...
Oh, the tri-ball
Yeah.
just catches Iceman on the landing.
Yeah, I was going to say that this... the way that Iceman acted during that rush, like, kind of shows the respect that he has for Frank, because in any other game, I'd see that Iceman just, like, jumping so far away from the rush, he could definitely just punish that, but he decides to just, like, stand there and block instead, which is kind of, it really does tell how a player is thinking. Ooh, almost, what? That was, that was interesting. I thought he would definitely catch Frank in the mid-air there, but Frank just barely managing to get out of that one. That was really big for him.
Yeah, the nade. I think the jump caused the nade to stop tracking Frank long enough for Frank to get a shield in there. Frank now trying to corner Iceman and get a nice opening to get a rush in. Goes for that on the jump now.
Yeah.
Not catching Iceman with the initial tri-ball burst, so Frank does not get maximum damage there, but it knocks Iceman down to now less than a quarter. Iceman with the rush ready to retaliate now though, and has to use it to avoid getting tri-ball grabbed. Gets a 440 in, and Frank is on the pixel.
Yeah, that was really solid. Oh my god, that was super clutch from Iceman right there. Like the, like basically negating that grab and just turning everything around and getting that round. That was really big from Iceman right there. Oh my god. I think, like if he wants to reset this bracket, we're going to have to see a lot more of that, because if not, then Frank is, going to look to take this best out of 5. Oh, even electrocutes Iceman with his own Seeky again.
Frank trying for that opening again, just trying to back Iceman into a corner. Got the grab on him last time, tried for another one, but just goes for the rush now.
Yeah, excellent read there from Frank. Just seeing the specific time where Iceman, oh my god, he's reading so well right now. Frank is just on a different level. He is like doing super well. Even though he gets grabbed right now, I'm feeling like Frank is definitely in control in this one.
Yeah, Frank got the dodge and was not afraid to go for the punish there either, because he was on the side of the Seeky rush, and Seeky rush does not retract quickly.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see now. Okay, there we go. Frank taking the first game here. I was going to say, usually Springman is not something that you want to see jumping a lot, because he's super vulnerable on on the end lag when he's landing. But there are ways to find yourself around that with the right timing. And Frank is definitely showing that one off, because a lot of the times, knowing by experience, by the way, since I've been facing the Swedish Ribbon Girl Jetta in this particular matchup, is that you know, when Ribbon Girl is jumping around as she does, it's really hard to get the camera readjusted for her. So a lot of the times, if you throw out an arm, you'll just like punch under her instead of actually aiming at her. So it's actually crucial that you do jump. But then again, you have the weakness of Springman. So it's really interesting to see that Frank is able to work around that and actually, you know, take the game.
Iceman taking Frank to Buster Beach now. And
Yeah.
same sets as always. Both these players tending to stick really closely to what works for them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure like if who this is specifically would be better for. I think that Iceman might be looking to get into those corners and getting those really high damage rushes. Even throws him down into the hot pocket here. Like if he can keep Frank into these corners, that's where he's going to shine, because then he can get those like 440, 460 rushes, which are, you know, pretty much the half health of any player.
Patience from Frank there, waiting until just the right moment where both of the Iceman's arms were extended to get that sneaky grab in there. Got another one by confirming with the tri-bolt. Siki actually saving Frank from that, but because of the simultaneous rushes, the glove hits the Siki and Iceman self-detonates.
Yeah, I think this is like the third time we see this tonight, where Iceman is doing that rush, and then the Siki just like do, and then explodes at his feet. And every time it happens, Iceman immediately switches to the Tri-Blast. It's so funny, like to see just that being a thing. And you know, Frank is going to capitalize on this because you know, with the Tri-Blast and Tri-Bolt, that's you know, sometimes you'd say that the Tri-Blast is a lot better, but you know, you can actually face the Tri-Bolt with the Tri-Blast, since they both have this like 3-edged part. Iceman is making it work with the Tri-Blast right now, though. It's like Tri-Bolt, Tri-Blast, saying it way too many times. Nice though from Frank here, deciding to block out that entire rush. Both of these players are playing very like conservatively when it comes to the rushes. No one is actually a lot like trying to either cancel the other one's rushes. They're just like staying back. You know, this is the grand finals. This is what it's all about. So trying to be careful.
Yeah, Frank is just playing very smartly this match. Just only going for the openings when he can.
Yeah.
Getting that last KO in off the nade. And Iceman is fighting for his life now.
Yeah, this you know, Frank,
3 wins for that bracket reset.
Yeah, like he needs to do some, you know, something different in this upcoming game here. But it's hard because like whatever you do against Frank is just such a solid player, and having a solid playstyle on a character just like Springman, it's just like, well, you can't really do a gimmick against him. Like the only way that he would be able to do that is, you know, using an explosive arm, and Iceman has been using 2 different explosive arms, or even 3, you know, and nothing is really biting or sticking to Frank. So like this time around, it's just for Iceman to just, you know, play better, which is just really difficult to say. That doesn't mean a lot, but basically he needs to kind of read Frank a bit better and try to catch him in between these deflects.
Yeah, as a wise man once said, don't be sorry, be better.
Yeah, and you know, that definitely applies here, and that's some good stuff.
Getting that nice Siki curve around the pillar there into the grab, that's some good stuff.
It was a juicy hit. But yeah, you know, now the almost all pillars, like half of the pillars are down right now, so that's not gonna last for long, especially with these explosive arms. But hopefully Iceman can look to use that to his advantage, at least when they're still up. Because like basically the hardest part about facing a Springman is that you really need to catch him before the deflect activates. So you have to kind of basically predict when he starts to do the charge up, but if he has already charged once, then the deflect is going to come out way quicker. So that dynamic is really difficult. Ooh, okay, Iceman trying to get around that rush, but not successfully so.
Getting the initial dodge, getting blinding, but not shielding fast enough, and Frank gets one last, I think that was a tri-bolt confirming to grab.
Yeah, definitely was. And now this could be the last round of tonight.
Oh,
and there,
spectator lag there. I'm pretty sure that was just on my end watching.
No, it was actually for me too. That was really interesting. The round just started so quickly. But yeah, this could be the last round for Iceman here if it goes Frank's way. And he's definitely going to look to end this as soon as possible. Getting that 3-0 would be so satisfying for him. And I think that would also mean that he takes rank #1 in the Scottish Arms League. Iceman, though, still staying alive here. You know, that explosion, you'd never want to run towards it, and that's what Frank needs to be doing right now. So it's just like in a very, you know, stuck in between a rock and a hard place right now.
DNA Lab helping Iceman keep that distance, though. Iceman does have the lead over Frank in this round.
Yeah,
but
like it's so important for Frank. Yeah, oh my god, that's gonna be
the Seeker Rush, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's so important for Frank to not get impatient here, because that's when, you know, Iceman definitely is going to shine. So hopefully both players just like immediately choosing arms. They just want to get this last round here started as soon as possible. So now it's really important for Frank to like try to get those hits in before Iceman, you know, the arms leaves the body, because then you can get those self-detonations that are also juicy.
Iceman playing around that last pillar there, but that pillar is no longer here. Getting a bunch of nice nade hits in, but Frank gets the tri-bolt jabs.
Yeah, I think... Oh my god, that was clutch! Oh my god. Frank just sidestepping that rush completely and does go for that grab. Even gets a rush confirm! Oh my god, that is so good. Frank is doing some work.
Now Iceman is on his last legs.
Yeah. Oh my god. If Frank ends on this note, that'll be something that I'm satisfied with. Getting both the grab cancel and the rush confirm. That's such a stellar play here. Now, Iceman gets taken down by Frank 3-0, and that's going to be it for this.
Getting a bunch of like nice pokes in at the end, but it was not enough, alas.
Yeah, and that's your winner right there. Frank taking it a 3-0, a very swift 3-0 in his grand finals of the Scottish Arms League week #2. And I mean, what a way to finish it off as well, with that like the grab of that rush and getting the rush confirmed there. Frank really showing what he's made out of, and yeah, I believe that's going to be it for this tournament today. And the next qualifier, or like the next week of the Scottish Arms League, will be in about a month. It's going to be June 14th. So if you're a player from the UK, Ireland, or you know, UK, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, you know, whatever you want to say, you can join in on these tournaments, and you're definitely not too late. So if you haven't already, you should definitely check out Esports Scotland, which you can see here on the screen. They're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, they're on Discord. So get on that and get involved. There's a lot of players that are willing to help you get started in ARMS as well. So get on that. Any shoutouts that you want to do now, Orthuss?
Yes, I do want to give a shout out to, speaking of Twitter, I want to give a shout out to @defer_ and @fellows in arms, because I mean, this being the UK regionals, Fellows in Arms hosts a lot of Scandinavian regionals. So if you want to check out good players from that region,
yeah, no, and definitely, and not only that, have a European tournament. So for anyone,
Oh.
we will be announcing that soon. So you know, keep track of Follows in Arms on Twitter. We'll be saying something about that soon. So if you're in Europe and you're looking at this tournament and you're like, oh, I want to join in, then you can. So you know. Oh, it looks like the next round was actually 7th of June and not the 14th. My bad if that's just, you know, just look it up on Scottish Esports League. That's the most safe route. You know, shoutouts to Orthuss for doing this, and you know, Scottish Esports League for doing the production behind this. This has been great, and I'm so looking forward to the next one as well. I hope I get to cast that one, and I hope you do too.
Same. It might be a bit rough of a schedule for me then, but I'll have to see if it works out.
Yeah,
I definitely had a lot of fun casting this one, and I would be all for it then.
Yeah, and you know, there are a ton of tournaments coming up in the UK as well. Besides this one, the Nintendo tournament going on at the end of the month, and Smash and Splash as well. But besides that, I think we're ready to sign off. So this has been week 2 of the Scottish Esports League. I'm Defur, and with me I have had Orthuss. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, everybody.